Okay, Coach, we are just west of downtown Denver off of I-25 at Empower Field at Mile High. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken short.
Sign 2, Mike 4-2. And 80. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
No gain on this defense, no gain. And 80. Mike 42. And
here's 2nd and 8. This complete to the former Longhorn Marcus Johnson. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From just shy of midfield, Darnold. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Team 6. Not today. Mike's 46.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Throwing again is Darnold. This is Johnson. He's got it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. On first down, Lindsay. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
Outside. Red, Eddie. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Hatchet.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
On set, 2. Watch 52. 52's the mark. Watch the run. They're running it.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Come on, the ball.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line. They will run the draw with Jacobs. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. But what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you, you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football. His hands, meaning if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
We're going to sign. 44 is the mic. Let's go, D. Man, 80.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On first down, Darnold. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Philip Lindsey with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On second down, Jacobs. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. Hey, look, 3.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
It's taken to the 26. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent return that time. 26 yards as they take over 1st and 10.
You're outside. 59, Mike. Check, 59. Red 80. Red 80.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Got a man, it's Johnson, end zone for a Denver touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. 44 yards on the ground. 1st down, Raiders. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. On play action, they'll throw. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll look to throw here. He's to the 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Give the sack to Komoko Toure.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how
and he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as they are now on the board here in the first half. The extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Darnold. This is the tight end fan.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Darnold from the gun. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Darnold on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. Hey, tight. Watch out. 22, jet, cover. 22.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Ready. Right there. 54 miles. Hey, come on.
On second down, it's Jacobs. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Check. Lucky.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. A first down carry for Foster. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give them a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
On second down now, it's Jacobs. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37th.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Right there. 54.
They're going to look to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
It really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Darnold now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. First and 10. The shotgun snap for Darnold. He finds his man Johnson. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. With his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front. McManus's point after is good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And an alley to run. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
A 1st down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9 at the 31-yard line.
The mic. 44's the mic. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Outside. 59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Watch the out. Watch the out.
Now Darnold. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now back to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Flushed out right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And an alley to run. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Kenny Stills, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Well, you know, you can't get all the points back at once, but baby steps a good start.
A start that was sorely needed because this team looked like they might be out of this one, but getting a touchdown, getting back into it, gives them hope as they move forward.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
He's checking.
They'll try the draw, Lindsey. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Now it's Darnold. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Darnold. He's going to wind up and air it out. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Anthony Averett picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Johnson, the intended target.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Now Pirine. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be gathered up in the end zone, and that's a defensive touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a 2-score swing that you just gave up.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
One set, eyes up.
2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball, but he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They built up that lead at intermission, and they're just continuing to pour it on right now, aren't they?
Locked into a really good groove right now. I don't know if it's just the play calling. I know the execution is really, really sharp right now, and all the playmakers are doing exactly what you expect. They're making plays, and right now, defense has no answer and no chance of catching up.
Yeah, they're just looking to turn anywhere for a stop defensively.
Here we go, son. Mike Fofo. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Woo! Watch safety crease. Watch safety crease.
Another run by Lindsey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. To me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll drop the throw. Going deep here for Stills. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On first down, Lindsey. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, in the NFL, even if he picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted,